All right, here's a big update on the terrible budget bill that's now in the Senate as of Friday morning. Among other things, the bill's going through what's called the bird bath. That doesn't happen in the House, it happens in the Senate. If the language in the bill is mostly policy and not about revenue or not sufficiently about revenue, it can be submitted to the Senate Parliamentarian, who's the judge and jury, and she decides if it stays in or out. Sell an unprecedented amount of federal lands to pay for tax cuts. It was submitted to the Parliamentarian. It's out. Cut take-home pay for new federal workers unless they give up job protections. Out. A ban on states regulating AI for 10 years. Still in. A provision that allows Trump to shut down or reorganize federal agencies with zero oversight. That is gone. Over 7.5 million Americans will lose access to health care with general Medicaid cuts. Still in. There really is a provision that allows the president to ignore federal courts. Out. Cut off all Medicaid funding for Planned Parenthood, limiting access to basic reproductive and preventative care. Still in. Defund the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Out. Kill clean air rules for cars and trucks. Out. Cut funding for cities that won't help with the federal immigration chaos. Out. Force the Postal Service to sell all of their electric vehicles and their charging stations. Out. The provision to allow oil and gas companies to pay $10 million to fast track their projects to get approval. Out. Thank God. Sweeping changes to farm programs that favor large agribusinesses, these huge corporations, over our family farms. Out. A tax plan that will create the largest transfer of wealth from working people to the super wealthy. Still in. Millions of Americans will lose access to food assistance. Still in. The provision to charge federal workers $350 just to file a workplace complaint. Gone. Getting these provisions removed is good, to be sure, but it's still a terrible, terrible bill. As of now, they don't have the votes, but remember, they didn't have the votes in the House and they squeaked it out with one vote. Assuming the Senate doesn't kill this bill, it will come back to the House. So we are in the thick of it. In total, 16 million Americans are going to lose their health care. Healthcare costs for almost everyone will go up. Millions, if not tens of millions of people will lose their food assistance. Food costs will go up. Energy costs are going to go up. And they're adding over $2.5 trillion to the deficit. This is a deeply unpopular bill, and we can kill it, but we need help. Make calls, demonstrate, focus on this bill. This is the thing that matters most right now.